Okay, so this is what we're gonna do, right? So let's start off, I guess, in a sense, we will let's just bring up, I guess like KuCoin, right? So we'll just use, actually, let's use Coin Exchange. Okay, so we'll use Coin Exchange as our basis for this video, so to speak. Okay, so there are some things that I guess some people were questioning about Coin Exchange. So you guys can see here, this is not the Coin Exchange, that is this Coin Exchange. Okay, so don't mistake the two, thinking that that's what that is. You guys see here, security, currency, asset trading, and support. That is pretty much really just it, okay? They're doing the same thing that we're going to pretty much do. The bug bounty, this is something that we spoke about, me and my developers, about that. It's a lot better when you tell the world that you're looking for bugs than to just be the only ones looking for bugs, because then you'll never find them if you have great computers, or if you have, middle of the road computers. There are a lot of people out there that just understand this a lot better, and faster information flows a lot faster to them than the average person, and sometimes it's hard to find that person, but that person is out there looking for you, so to speak. Okay, so this is something that I wanted to point out that they had, that the rest of the world, like us, we actually want. So it says, if while on our site you find any bugs, security issues, please let us know. They're doing it a little bit different, so we're actually going to be using HackerOne. So if you actually look at our website, we already spoken to HackerOne as well as Bounty OX. So these are the two that we'll be using, HackerOne and Bounty 0x. Their platforms, not so much this one right now. We'll ease our way into it, but we just wanted to point that out, that some people do have bounties and some people don't. As you guys can see, their fees are right on the website. We will allow the fees to be on the website as well, so you'll see if there are any fees at all or if there aren't any fees. So there will be some, in some cases there will be no fees, but then in other cases there will be a ton of fees. So not like a ton in the way that, charging you a lot, just in the way that there are going to be fees for some things, So I wanted to point that out, but let's just go through the website, because I just wanted to point that quick information out. Okay, so right here, you're going to see two things at the very top, right? So how it works is going to scroll you down to how it works. So all of these little links to just bring you down to the other pieces of the website. It's just a one-page website. And if I go into like my YouTube, it'll show you like if I put down like I guess if you guys are wondering like where am I in the world, so this will be my location to where I am currently. I like to move around. I like to have people know exactly where I'm at all the time. I guess in the sense that I will travel, and I want to make sure that that I am there. You know what I mean? I want to make sure that when we get to a point where you guys are able to, I just uploaded that video, so so that information is going to be here at this, uploaded this video or whatever. But anyway, I just want to make sure that we're all on the, I guess, the same page to understand that I'm not just going to be sitting around doing nothing. This would be my dedicated thing right here. So it'll be the first web wallet with an exchange. That's how I see it. It's more of like a wallet app with an exchange. I don't believe there's another one out there that offers what I am going to be offering, especially with the stakeholder wallet, the quarterly bonuses, and the 100% transparency. The soft cap, like I mentioned before, is 10 million. 30 million is the hard cap, which means that this is where no longer be giving away tokens. And then the bounty. So the bounty is down here as well as Telegram. So if you go to the Telegram group chat, right here, the bounty will be there as well. We'll just give you 25 just for being in the chat. We have, I believe, 5 million to give away, plus I have another 2.5 million that I'm giving away. So my goal is to give away as many people as possible, without diluting the value. If we run into a issue where we have our 10 million that we're holding, and then you guys have, and then we have like another 7 million or 5 million or 2 million that no one claimed on a bounty or no one claimed anywhere, we'll give them away, or we'll just throw them away. We do have the opportunity to burn or actually, no, actually, I'll show you guys that. So we'll go to, what is it called? My Ether wallet. So rather than talking about it, I'll just show you guys what I'm talking about. We'll see. Let's see if it actually lets me do it from here. So we'll grab the ABI, because you guys can do the same thing. So it's not like I'm hiding anything. You just can't execute anything without the private keys. Okay. So we'll click on this contracts. We'll go here, and then we'll click on the address. All right, so we'll access that, and then I'll show you guys the ability that we have, right? So these are the things that we can and cannot do, okay? So if you guys notice the name, right? You click on the name, it'll tell you how many tokens, the name of the token. Approve, I have the ability now to approve sending someone an amount of tokens or not, right? Total supply, so this is the 50 million, so this is the total supply. 50 million ends 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, and then I have 9 decimal points after that, okay? The reason why I chose 9 is because the average exchange only uses 8, and since I'll be on some exchanges, I'm not really sure which exchanges we're planning on being on, but we'll come to an agreement on that, and then we'll go into some exchanges. But as of right now, the way we're doing this is we're going to make sure that our platform does work with our tokens first before we allow you guys to withdraw them, so just give us a little bit. So most likely July or August, you'll see us go onto an external exchange, but you won't see that in June. I'll be honest with you, you won't see that early on, only because you want to kind of make sure that people are still buying an ICO. Plus, you want to make sure that people aren't losing out on something that they could have been making money on. Okay, so total supply, and then we have transfer from. This allows me to transfer from one person to another. If that person, for whatever reason, says, hey, I lost my private key to that one, and they're able to verify their identity, I do have the option of actually moving those tokens from one place to the other. Okay, so the reason why we did that is because that happens all the time. That happened on my Jax wallet, where the Jax individuals were explaining to me that there's nothing they can do with my Bitcoins, nothing they can do with my Ethereums. I lost them because I lost the private key. And I didn't lose the private key, I actually lost my phone, and like an idiot, I had it on my phone rather than written down. Now I actually just write them down. I write everything down hand. I don't even copy and paste addresses anymore. I actually type them in. I do a lot weird stuff now to make sure that I'm actually doing it all the right way and all that good stuff. But yeah, we have the ability to transfer from one wallet to the next if you were to transfer wallets, stuff like that. Transfer from is that decimals, we're only using 9 like I mentioned to you guys before. Withdraw ether, this is what people use to withdraw the Ethereum from the crowd sell to another wallet. So we will have to pay for things, obviously. In order for us to do that, you have to be able to withdraw the Ethereum. Okay, there's other things that we have like burn. So I'll show you guys burn and freeze. All right, so those are two things that a lot of people don't have, is both. So freeze, for instance, freeze will do freeze of. So this allows me to freeze someone's assets in one address. So let's just say we find that we have a terrorist using our platform, and they're using our platform, but they're not using it for the right reasons, and they're using it for terroristic reasons. We have the ability to actually freeze their tokens, okay? So we have the ability to actually freeze just our tokens, nobody else's tokens, but we do have the ability to freeze their account if they're using our accounts, and we have the ability to freeze their tokens as well, so they cannot export them out. So we only did that because we wanted to freeze some in ICO stage, just in case the price went up, which it did. It doubled since we started to do this, and so did the price. Like I said before, we started at 24 cents, and now we're looking at about 48 cents, and now we're having to give back about 25 to 50% of our tokens just to make sure that we're not getting in too much money, and we're also able to give back enough money to our shareholders, okay? And then the other thing we have is freeze of and freeze. So you're able to freeze tokens as well, and freeze of. And then we have the ability to unfreeze those tokens, okay? The other thing that people don't have is burn. So usually you'll see people have freeze, unfreeze, and then burn. They won't usually have both freeze and burn. Burn is where you're literally taking them out of circulation. They are no longer available. So only way that we can do that is they have to actually be in our wallet right here. So they have to actually be here where it says how many tokens we have. It has to literally be this, it doesn't matter. We might do that with the 10 million, but you see how it says total supply here? Like when we put the address here, it has to literally be on this address. It can't be somewhere else in order for us to burn them. So we wanted to have that ability to burn because honestly, we just wanted to come out with 25 million, but the value of Ethereum was so low that we felt weird by giving away only 500 tokens for one Ethereum. So the way that we did it was, okay, what if we gave away like almost 2,000 tokens? Then at that point, it seems like you have a good amount of tokens, because if you only had 25 or 50, but that equals $100, it would just feel weird in the very beginning. So we did it where 2,000 was the minimum that you were going to pretty much have, around 2,000 or so. But then we're going to be burning them. So our investors see it that after a year, we should start burning almost 5 million a month till we get down to 25 million. Where we really want to be at is about 25 million. We don't want to do it in a sense where we want to push the value up or down or just take them out of circulation. We just want to do it because we think that it's not necessary to have that many tokens out there. Bitcoin is doing it with whatever supply they currently have, I think like 19 million, and they'll get up to 21 million at some point. So they're able to do it with their circulation, but why can't we do the same thing? So, you know what? Actually, let's look it up. Coin market cap. And then we'll just click on Bitcoin. Oh, oops. Actually, we'll just go this one. So click on Bitcoin just to see what they're working with currently. I don't want to give out false information. So currently Bitcoin's circulation is 17 million. So out of max supply of 21 million. So we want to just, I guess I don't really see the value in having more than that many. Bitcoin does have an unlimited number of decimal points. So technically you can have 16 decimal points, 16 zeros and then a 1, which makes them very, very valuable in that sense. But at the same time, honestly, it's not really a big deal. So I don't really see that being a big deal. So anyway, the other thing that we have here is the owner. So this will show you the address in which all the tokens belong to one person currently. But once you actually execute, once we hit the soft cap, it will automatically send those tokens to the from the owner to that other person. The owner currently right now is at 0, but if I take this number and I put it here just to show you guys, it will say I own 50 million. Only because I am the owner of this. Okay, 40 million because I froze 10. And you guys can see that here. See that? I froze 10 million. I just did it like this because I wanted to make sure that I wasn't freezing the wrong amount. So you have to do it like this plus the 9 decimal points. So that's how I did that. Froze 9. I froze it here with the 1, 2. It's 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so I only froze like a tenth of one. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So I had froze, I guess 0.01 tokens, and then I froze the rest of it. Just because, again, you want to, anytime you do something like that, where you're actually, using your code, you want to make sure you're not doing too much, because I don't want to freeze and then unfreeze and freeze and unfreeze. It just looks weird. So I just did it twice. The symbol right now is CTB. It's Bitcoin backwards, but that's only because of the transparency, and the fact that the way that we're doing it, we're almost the opposite of Bitcoin in a sense, So, but it is also crypto booth, which is the same thing as CTB. Another thing is transfer. So we have the same thing where we're talking about before. So this transfer button is for our Telegram group. So, for instance, if you go into Telegram and you put your Ethereum address in here, I will literally put it right here, and then I type in how much. It will look like this: 25, 123, 123, 123, and then you'll end up getting 25 tokens for joining. If for whatever reason by June 1st or whatever date that we decide to cut that off, we just don't have enough people that did the bounty, because some people are going to do a different type of bounty, then we'll give you guys the 50 just for the hell of it. But we just wanted to make sure that we do it the right way. And then that's about it. Then we have allowance. So allowance, to be completely honest with you, allowance is just supposed to be where you don't have the ability to buy as many. So we added it in there, but there is no maximum. The maximum was going to be I think two Ethereums at a time, but to be completely honest with you, it's not a big deal. No one's going to be really putting in 10 Ethereums. I just don't see that happening, honestly. I see maybe 1 or 2 Ethereums, but I don't see people looking at this and saying, oh man, I have to put 10 Ethereums in here to become super rich, because they're not going to. No one's going to really do that. They're just going to just do what they need. So, but yeah, let's just go finish off on the website. There's some other things at the top that I want to talk about. So we'll have people in each language. So what will happen is you have the ability to click on here. Right now it doesn't work, so don't click on it thinking that you'll see it. But we're going to create our website in different languages. The reason why this doesn't work currently is because this is just the ICO page. You'll see this information forever, and this information will not go away. But again, this is just the ICO page. The website itself or the app or the program will be completely separate from this ICO page. Okay, so this is just the ICO, so you may not see all that information, you know, in different languages as of right now, only because it doesn't make sense for us to have it yet until we actually have a platform for that, and then we open up the chat for different languages, which will also be on the app as well. So that's something that some apps don't have, is the ability to chat directly from the app itself. I found that very annoying with CoinExchange, because you know they do have it where you have support, but their support is more of like a email system back and forth, and instead of like an actual chat where you can speak to someone. And then there's other ones out there that do the same thing. So I just wanted to only use CoinExchange in this example just for that one reason, but I'm gonna change it up in a second. But what is Crypto Booth? This is just a small description of what I already put down in the white paper. So it took us maybe about 2 weeks to a month to actually write the white paper, because it's a lot of information I wanted to make sure we had that explained itself. So the white paper, let's just make sure it's working. Somebody told me it wasn't working, which I don't believe is true. But here's the white paper itself, and you can go over it yourself. I didn't want to go too technical because the white paper honestly doesn't need to be technical. It does have some information in here that's a little techy, but you know, there's a lot of new people that are going to be investing in a lot of different websites. So what's the point of going techie? We're not a platform where you're able to build on top of us. So for us to be very techie would be kind of like against our entire everything. So we looked at this as saying, okay, how about we just give enough information for someone to feel like they made an educated decision to invest or not invest. Okay, that's pretty much it. So, and then this was the big deal for us right here. Okay, so our biggest thing that we noticed was that places like Africa, country of Africa, there's other small Asian countries, South American countries, as well as I think that's really just it, island countries. Their banking system just does not work the same way as ours. So the way that their banking system works is you have a bank, but they issue a card, but they don't really issue them, you know what I mean, in the sense of they have a card. It's more of like you just have a bank card and you just use that bank card, but cash is king in those countries. So the problem that we were having was that if you were to look up, let's just type it in here. I wanted to just buy BTC with Western Union. If I wanted to buy, I would have to use a few different websites. As you guys can see, they have all these different places that they're saying you can do all that stuff, but you really can't. But Western Union, buy Bitcoins with Western Union. So we'll just click on this, right? So this is something that we noticed was like somewhat of a problem for us, that, you know, not necessarily an issue that I'm dealing with, but other people are dealing with the same exact issue that I felt was very, very pertinent. Was the fact that, as you guys can see, if you wanted to buy 0.12, what is that? Let's just say 0.012, right? And I'll use my calculator. I don't think I actually have one on a computer. All right, so we'll do a calculator. And Bitcoin right now, so that everyone is on the same page, because we don't know what it's going to be when you watch it, but we'll do 9400, and then that's what Bitcoin is, and we'll multiply that times 0.01, let's just say 0.02. Okay, so that's $188 is what 0.02 equals. Okay, if you wanted to buy Bitcoin from this website at $188, it would cost you like about 11 bucks, right? So close to $11 is what it would cost you to buy that. It's refreshing. I wonder what they say that Bitcoin is. But anyway, the reason why we found that was like a thing. But look, you can't even use Western Union. It said Western Union, but I don't even see it up here. So the problem that we were having was the fact that they were taking such a large fee for that. And there's other ones out there like I want to say it starts with an R. I can't remember the name of it. There you go. Western Union, Bitcoin.org is another one. Well, anyway, there's other ones out there, but they take somewhere between 10% and even more. You know, so if you took that number, like right, and we'll just take this number here that they've given us here, right, and I guess we'll look at it as 199, right? 199. So one Bitcoin is, well, actually, we'll take this number and we'll subtract it by negative. Oops, let's subtract it by 199, right? So it's $11, right? So, and then we'll just clear it. Okay, so you took that $11 and you multiplied it times how much it would take for you to get an actual Bitcoin, which was 50 times more, right? So if you bought one Bitcoin, you would actually lose $550. By the time you did that, you spent almost $1,000, $990 to buy one Bitcoin. So you lost $550. I just feel like that's just absurd. I don't think that someone should be losing that much money just because they didn't have the same options as the next guy. I just think it's very unfair. You know what I mean? It's different when I'm using $1,000, or let's just say 9,500, right? 9,500, right? It's different if I'm using 9,500 and you multiply that times 0.25%, right? And this is my fee. Because if I actually had the money on the account and I traded it and I paid this fee, then it's only $23 is what I'll be losing for actually going from US dollar to Bitcoin. You see, and this is what we saw. We saw that people would rather lose this than $550 for buying one Bitcoin. So that was kind of where we got the idea for the exchange as well as the wallet being connected. So if you did it in that sense where you're like, hey, listen, every $10,000, the most I'll lose is, you know, on the buy part and or the buy and maybe part of the trade as well. I'll lose what, $25, $50, even if you lost $100. It doesn't sting as much as if you lost the whole, you know, $550. It just doesn't sting as much, and you have the ability to continue on to make more money. Because at that point, if you just made $100 off your $1,000 or your $10,000, you made $100. You made the fees back, you know, but in order for you to get that money back, you have to make that $10,000 have to turn it to an extra $500 just for you to break even. And that's insane, because then you're losing money. Every day that coin grows, you're losing $550, and that $550 grows into comparison. Because $550 technically, let's go here. So 550, and we'll divide that by 9,400. You have 0.058 blah, blah, blah Bitcoin. So 0.06 Bitcoins is how much you'll have. So if Bitcoin goes to 50,000, like they're estimating it, and you lost in the very beginning of trading 0.06, you're now up to $3,000 in losses. So the more that we looked at that, the more that this idea just made more sense for people, because who would want to lose that amount of money? All that money at one time, 10%, 15%, and in some cases 20%, just because you don't have the same resources as the next guy. It's very unfair. So if you watch the video, you'll notice that, okay? And if you scroll down, again, we'll have to correct these numbers. The numbers right now, they just go off of me typing them in, only because, again, this is just so you can see the numbers, okay? All right, the white paper is there again. This is just something that we decided we're just gonna just put in, because these are some of the people that you're already using. It's Coinbase, Kraken, Poloniex, Bitfinex, and KuCoin, or OKCoin. Sorry about that. But yeah, I didn't create this figure. Someone else created this figure. This isn't even my icon. We created this just to put there. This icon here isn't even mine. Mine's for my token icon, for whatever reason, just wouldn't go there when I try to add it. But we'll add it in later. And then there's other things. So we are going to be open source, so we will have an API as well. So you'll have the ability to actually use the API for trading bots. Future growth, obviously, we want to expand to over 100 different countries, languages, if we can, as well as you know, different resources in different places. Financial inclusion, decentralized. Of course, you have to be decentralized. It just makes it a lot easier for people, you know, and then we're not vulnerable at that point, so that makes us invulnerable. I know that everything says autonomous, but at the same time, we will be inside the laws, because we do want to make sure that we grow into America as well as Europe and Asia. So those places, we want to make sure that they're comfortable with us being there. So those not countries, but those continents are okay with us being there, using, you know, having people use us. So the more that we grow. So this was the original look. On our Twitter, you'll notice that there's a different look right now. But this was the original look. The only thing I didn't like was that it just didn't contrast well when you look at it. It works for what it was going to be used for, but to be completely honest with you, I just wasn't a big fan of the look. So we decided to switch it up a little bit. Plus, at the same time, this had a miner thing. We were thinking about adding mining, not our mining, but having people add where they have the ability to mine Bitcoin, mine Ethereum, mine any other coins, as well as being able to use Neo for its gas. So we were going to have this option here. I don't know if we'll bring it into the future, but if it becomes a thing where people are asking for it and we want to start distributing gas to people, because we see that there's a want for it, we will do that at no cost, and no fee, pretty much. So if we did that, you'll get straight gas, exactly what you're supposed to be getting, just on our platform. We will be deploying on Windows as well, but those are the two places that we expect to be deploying sometime either in June or July. You know Apple, how they are. They're going to hold us back for a bit. So clicking on this button will take you to the download button, and then you'll be able to download it straight from there until Apple approves us. So we will have that. This is our icon, token distribution. There will be more fiat currencies that we will allow you to translate from US dollar to, and they will be using the fiat market place. So you'll see like up to date pricing. We thought about maybe making it all one price for the day, and every 24 hours it will update, but it most likely will probably update every 15 minutes to an hour, depending on activity. Okay. So let's go into token distribution. So there's a couple things that I like to make sure that we do, right? So 40 million automatically are going to be distributed. Out of the 50 million, 5 million will be held by staff. Now it'll be held for 6 months. At the end of the 6 months, depending on where we are in the product, we may not put those back on the market. So the only reason why we would put those back on the market is the same reason why everyone else does. It's to make more revenue at the current price. We expect the price to be about $10 in 6 months. But we don't expect to actually put these on the market, because if we are at that number, then that means that the platform is working the way we intended it to work. And then, January time, we just burn those. So we're not even looking to actually do anything with them other than burn. The 5 million that for the bounty, if they're not collected, then we'll probably give them to these people here. And then if anything, we'll probably just end up burning them as well if we decide to not give them away. But most likely we'll just give them away. We don't really see a need to not give them away. We don't really see a need to give them away. So it'd be almost 3 million that we're giving away in bonuses for the 30 million. So you guys will see that as well. And then the profit distribution. So 20% will go to marketing. The reason why we only did 20%, I know, is because of the 60%. The 60%, I'm a big marketing guy. I'm in school for marketing, about to get my marketing master's, as well as I'm trying to get my doctorates. So the reason why we did a lot in the operations infrastructure was giving the fact that it's going to take a lot for us to actually run this. Take a lot of staff, take a lot of money to make sure we have a secure building in places that we need to be. We also don't want to have just one place, one building. We do want to have multiple buildings, different backups, different everything, and we're looking to move into a main net as well. So 60% of the profit is going to be given, is going to be going there, right? This might go down to 55% only because you see here it says profit sharing 5%. We decided to carve out another 5%. So most likely another 5% go here. So this probably be 55% when it's all said and done, as well as the token and staff. So our token holders, the second that you guys activate your account, that 10% that I was telling you guys about, this 5% right here, this is going directly to you guys. So as soon as you get your account activated, from what we've gained out of here, 5% will automatically start being paid out. So the very first month, we'll look to see, okay, after the last month, because it's going to be the last month of the quarter, once that month is over, which is the end of June, once that month is over, depending on who put their coins in there, you guys will get that 5%. So you guys are going to instantly start to make money with this platform. So investing, it actually makes more sense to invest now than later, because that 5% will be distributed to you. Now, staff and legal, we've talked to our lawyers as well as our other staff that we have. We feel like this is enough. If you think about it, if we made 100 million in a year, that means that 15 million of it will be going straight to staff. I don't think we really need that much to go to staff, but we do need a lot for the legal. And we want to make sure that anybody we do bring in, we're able to bring them in long term. We're not looking to be here for the short term. And then the marketing, hopefully that does grow. The less we need to do operations infrastructure. But to me, these two are very important. So 75% of it was going to go to these two. And then marketing, hopefully we grow where we don't need a lot of marketing, but we will still make sure that we distribute into marketing, because that's where I like to be, and I think that that makes a lot of sense. As you guys already heard, that's our partners. We spoke to Genesis One. They will provide us with somewhere between 15 and 50 ATMs so that we can start to distribute them. We want to put majority of them in Europe as well as in North America, meaning Canada, Mexico, and America. Sorry about that, I forgot. So we want to put them there in those places because we see that those are the places that people are using them. And as Bitcoin grows, people are going to want to get directly in, and then, you have the ability to buy Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, and maybe Monero. We don't know if they're going to add Monero, but as of right now, those are the three, as well as Bitcoin Cash. Those are the four that we're looking to add on there as of right now. So we've already spoke to them. So that's kind of the deal for us, is to get that. That's part of operations and infrastructure. So once we start to generate income from that, you guys will start seeing that on a monthly basis or weekly, depending on how much is generated. Okay? Okay, so this is the free token bounty. So the way that we've done this was, if you just straight up go into Twitter, follow us, and then tell us you followed us, as well as retweet, or you make a post or regram on Instagram and you just link, just give us your information here. At least follow it. Just start by following us, and then go into the next portion, and then we'll decide between 10. It's actually 100. It's actually not 10. It's actually 100. 100 to 10,000 tokens will be distributed to you, depending on the content. It's going to be really tough for someone to get 10,000, and the reason why is because if you think about it, that 10,000, if that person sold it at, let's say, 30 cents, they'll be selling it underneath ICO. And I just don't want someone to feel like, I made $3,000 by doing nothing. I'd rather give away 1,000, but there are some circumstances that they probably will deserve that, and we'll work something out with those people if they do deserve to get 10,000. But as of right now, it's gonna be really tough for someone to actually get 10,000. 1,000, that's gonna happen very frequently. So your best bet is just to retweet, because most likely it'll be 1,000. And the more people we can just give this away to, we have 5 million to give away. The faster we can give this away, the better. Because at that point, at least we have 5 million token holders, even if you guys didn't pay a dime for them. And then at that point, even if we put them all on the market and everybody's making, 10 cents for each one, at least at that point, we can distribute the rest onto external exchanges and people can pick them up from there. Okay, so, and then it says each share will be blah, 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 and you'll be airdropped once the ICO date is complete. So you'll notice that. But once we hit like 100, I'll probably just start giving them away, just so that people can start seeing them in their wallet. This is the roadmap that we created. So we started to develop everything in January. That's when we started talking about everything in November, December. But I think that the problem was a lot of the people that we started to talk about this with wanted to do a lending program. And I just didn't think that the market was sustainable enough for us to do a lending program, because then at that point we'd become a Ponzi scheme if it doesn't sustain. And I was right. The lending programs have died. If you're in one, most likely it's going to die soon. So just putting that out there. But we decided to actually develop everything in January. That's why you don't see it 2017, because that's when we came up with the idea for this. Deployed smart contract actually started, I think March or April we did that. And then we rolled out the Bitcoin ATM. We're going to be doing that this hopefully next month or the following month. We're going to be deploying our wallet this month. Or next month. Next month will be our wallet. The exchange, not yet, but July, which is be quarter 3. And then we're going to be launching the bounty program with HackerOne sometime next month, only because that's when our wallet will be deployed. So once our wallet is deployed, then we get the HackerOne. We're going to give them all the information they need for the bounty, and then we'll make sure that people do get paid out once they find bugs and errors and glitches. Okay, as well as vulnerability. And then we're going to increase the token platform awareness by marketing. So that's our very first thing that we're looking to do, as well as be listed on CoinMarketCap. I know that CoinMarketCap does not want to list our exchange just yet. We've spoken to them. But our goal is to get them to list our exchange and then list our token, as well as maybe going on external exchanges to have our token listed as well. So we'll do that with them. We'll work something out with them. And then it says release of the update of the version. So we're going to be trying to release more updates, as well as adding to that. So this is the point where we should be rolling out the exchange, and then you see here 10 to 30 more tokens. Our goal is to have as many as possible, like 100, maybe 250 tokens tradable directly from the platform, but just the ones that are really popular. We're going to be working our way down the list of CoinMarketCap, as well as other lists that are out there, but just making sure that we're staying, ahead of the curve. And then quarter 4, we're going to start to revisit everything. Our goal is to be on our own main net, launch larger scale, as well as have 10 to 60 more in that quarter, and deploy all the apps on all the platform. By that time, we should be on Windows and some other Mac versions and stuff like that. So this should be the very last time that we're deploying on another platform. I explained to people already in the last video, but this is something that I guess was the other part. So we initially started the process of becoming a LLC, a C corporation in Jamaica. They did deny us only because I am not a Jamaican citizen. So that's why you guys see this, right? So Short Trader is, when I was doing my stock days, back when I was day trading stocks, Short Trader is a company that I used to use as well, is because they're hosted in the Bahamas. The reason why I use Short Trader is because of this. So the day trader rule is, this is the day trader rule. You need to have a minimum of $25,000 in your account in order to day trade. So if you have $25,000 inside your account, they let you actually day trade. That means trade every single day. You have the ability to actually trade every single day, multiple times a day. If you have less than 25,000, you can only do 3 trades. That's one buy, the second one to sell, and the third one is a buy or a sell, right? Depending on how much you sold the second time. That's it. 1 week in a 5 calendar day. That's how much you can do in 1 week. I'm sorry, I misspoke. That's what you can do in 1 week. Okay, so you have to have that on any day. So at the beginning of the stock market opening up, your account must say minimum of $25,000. Same thing with the minimum of the closing day. So the day that it closes. So okay, I'll give you an example. If your account closed today, at the end of the day, at 24,800, and then by the time you woke up, the money you are going to put in brought you over 25,000, you cannot day trade. Okay, you had to hit both. It had to end the day and begin the day with 25,000. Okay, that became very annoying because I didn't have $25,000 looking to risk on the stock market. So I connected with Short Trader, and I got an account with them, as well as a bank account in Bahamas. They allowed me to, as an American citizen, actually open up a bank account with them, which was, to me, was very awesome. I opened up a bank account with them, as well as had the platform. They made it very easy, very up-to-date information. They even have a margin account, so you were able to do trades 10x, 6x. I did that for about 5 years or so. Did a lot of analysis on that, and I tried to convert what I knew in that to this, and it just doesn't work the same way. And as you guys can see here, it says U.S. residents. You can read about Short Trader, but you know what? We decided to do the same thing that Short Trader allowed us to do before, and that was create our business in the Bahamas instead. So as of right now, I went over that information to let you know that yes, Jamaica did deny it because I'm not an American. I'm not a Jamaican citizen, but that's not a problem because of the Bahamas. I've already spoken to our lawyers, and we've already got the process started as of 2 days ago. So sometime this week or next week, you guys will actually see us post that information up here that it's in the Bahamas. Once we get our location, they should approve everything. So right now we do have a location we're looking at, and most likely will probably be a location, maybe like a phone number, but it won't be the location of our servers. And the reason why is because if we put our server address somewhere, then people can just steal our servers. So we just want to make sure that when we do this, the location of our business is different from the location of our servers. So you guys won't actually see that. So what we'll probably end up doing is like buying like a house or a warehouse and making sure that that's how we do it. But you can go through the rest of the questions. That's just the only one that I really wanted to go over to indicate that, hey, there's a change there. The rest of this is active except for Facebook. I deactivated the Facebook because Facebook did not want me to advertise. And I just feel like, you know what, if I can't use your platform to further my platform, then, I'm not going to use your platform at all. Medium will be popping up soon. We'll just start putting articles up there, have more fun with that. Bitcoin Talk is up here, so you guys can actually click on that. The YouTube is here, has the video. Active Twitter, we only have a couple followers. That's not a big deal. And then we're active on Telegram as well. There's 2 Telegram chats, but from here you can actually get to the other one, which is kind of cool. So we just put that up there, and then from there you can get to the other chat where you can actually talk to us and talk to support. So that's pretty much all I really wanted to go over with this one. It's just to kind of compare what we're trying to do with other platforms. I'll compare other platforms a little bit more into depth, but as of right now, that was really it. Just wanted to give you guys the information of what is Crypto Booth and why does it exist, and where we look to see our our future growth going. And again, you'll see my picture down here pretty soon. I guess the only reason why I didn't put it down here is only because there's a lot going on in America, and the fact that I don't actually want the IRS at my door telling me what I'm doing is wrong. And the reason why my platform, as far as a YouTube channel, it did start to draw some attention in that aspect, but it is what it is. I can't complain. I like the attention, but at the same time, I want to make sure that we all understand that I have to protect myself. So but yeah, it'll be up there pretty soon. Just give me a second to get everything going, and then but yeah, their pictures will not show, not yet, only because they are the developers, and they've been part of other stuff, and as of right now, they just don't want to have people, I guess, in their business. You can Google them, you cannot find them. They are very how can I say this? They are very anonymous, so to speak, and it is awesome. I like the fact that you really can't find them on the internet. So if you guys have any questions, let me know. Don't forget to comment, like, subscribe, definitely share, and again, let me know if you have any questions.